poppin', YouTube? It's your boy Jamal Virgo. I'm back at it again. You guessed it, my daughter is asleep, so we gonna get to working. You know what I'm saying? Fitting this in, getting these videos done for y'all while I can make the time for you. You know what I'm saying? I actually got a couple different shoes that I want to get through to y'all. I'm so glad they finally came in the mail. Shout out to all the spots that I caught from online and in store. I'm gonna split these videos up so you'll see them coming out, if not like back to back to back, at least like one every week. But I wanted to knock this first one out and then you'll see the other ones come out consecutively. But I will do one video with them all together, kind of like comparing comfort, like how to style them, just my preference, what I think you should go for in terms of the price range, what they're worth, all that blah, 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 blah. But I do want to start with this first video because I wore this one today. And it was actually the last shoe that I got in of the 4 that I will eventually be showing y'all. So this one I'm super excited about. I've had this brand before, but haven't had this particular model. So super happy and excited to actually try out a new retro shoe that they've had for a while. But to jump right into it, y'all know I'll be trying to keep these things concise. Diet on camera, sorry. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. This is going to be an Asics model. As you can tell by the box, it is pretty straightforward. Now I did get this shoe from Kith, New York City. So I did have to order it from a third party, if you will. I didn't get it straight from Asics website, but they do actually have some pretty dope colorways of this model, and you can probably tell by the name already, but this is the Asics Gel 1130, so I'll let y'all take a look. It is the Asics Gel 1130, one of their more popular models, kind of growing with this dad shoe wave. I am a father myself, so I have credentials to be able to wear this shoe. Some of y'all, you gonna have to check your ID, you know what I'm saying? But I love the fact that in terms of style, like I had a crazy thought today that I think the internet is what's helping. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard from a style standpoint, people always say like style, it'll always come back. I don't know, you know, people say like every 10 to 20 years, some style or fad comes back around or some shit. I feel like the internet is actually helping ramp that up and actually keep those specific or maybe a couple of things that maybe came from a 20 years ago, a 30 years ago, a 40 or 50 years ago around, because a lot of us in this generation that are growing up on the internet were able to find these old photos, these old style books easily online, and then that's something that you can add to your repertoire. Or let's say someone who was I'm 30 years old, let's maybe say someone my age or a 20-year-old, 25-year-old finds a style from the 40s or 50s that they never even knew existed until they saw a picture on Instagram. So stuff like that, like I said, there's a long-winded answer, but I think things like dad shoes are actually gonna be here to stay for a little while. I think it's cool that they're taking dad shoes and adding technology of today, you know, to kind of bring that retro vibe and bring those styles back around, but it's also helping to make them stay a while, or at least be a staple in, I think, a lot of these brands, like, you know, repertoire that they offer to us as customers. So anyway, long-winded answer, but giving y'all a little bit of my opinion, which I'm sure some of y'all come from. But yeah, so I did get a size 9.5 in this model. The color on this one is oyster gray and clay gray. I had been searching online. I was kind of just rotating through. The shoe's actually not that expensive. It's like 95 bucks. There are some versions of the shoe that are collaborations with other brands that are a little bit more expensive. Like there's a Naked Copenhagen version that I've been thinking about buying the bullet on, but that one's like 150. I found these for 95 and I saw a picture. As soon as I saw the picture, I was like, that's the one. And I went on a hunt, found them on Kith, got them in like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. That was a little slow, but I ordered it during like between Christmas and New Year's, so I give them a little bit of leeway. But without further ado, man, the Asics Gel 1130, super dope model. Like I said, it's in the oyster gray and clay gray colorway. Make sure that this looks good on the camera for y'all. I know I can see it well, but I want to make sure y'all get a good glimpse. I actually just got a new phone, iPhone 14 Pro. Shout out to y'all if you have it. And I'm pretty sure that the camera is going to do this justice, but it's cool because the pictures, like for me, the pictures online made the color, this is like that kind of off-white and grayish color, look insane to me on the pictures online. So I was like, that's what sold me. And when I got it in person, it's actually not as like gray and muted as I thought, but it's actually way better in person to me because there's a lot more ground tones in it. So there you go. So just to hop into it, I did take a couple notes for y'all. Wanted to get my personal opinion, but just about the actual shoe itself. So this is the 9th, I guess, iteration of the Gel 1000 model. So again, this is the 1130, but this is, I guess, the 9th iteration. So they've had some other versions of it come out before. And, you know, if you look on their website, like literally asics.com, they do talk about the fact that this was one of their older models that they've kind of reinvigorated with new tech, new features, and literally new materials and colorways to kind of match today's everyday style. So that part's pretty cool that they're adding that stuff in there. Like I said, these things are coming back around. They're adding new stuff to breathe light back into them, and I feel like this shoe is one that's going to be in my rotation very, very heavily. And then the other thing that I also found too, it does have the gel technology in the heel, which I'll get into when I get into this quick breakdown. The shoe doesn't really have, even though it looks very complex, which a lot of Asics designs do because their logo is pretty, you know, complex. It's got a lot going on. The shoe actually doesn't have too much, like, in terms of stuff to check out on, or I mean, you know, to look at on the shoe. I think they do a lot with the colorways and the materials, which makes it complex in terms of the actual shoe that you get. Obviously, on the base layer, most of the shoe, it is that mesh, and on this particular colorway, I'm gonna say it's the oyster. I'm gonna just guess that. Since it's lighter, but it's all mesh, toe box, mid panel, and on the inner side, on the medial, the base layer is that mesh. Is super, super breathable, super, super comfortable. And then you have the clay gray clashing with that on the kind of like wrap around the toe box, also inside on the inner lining, which is like a mesh material, super comfortable. And then wrapped around the back, there's like, I don't know if y'all can tell, it's almost like, I don't know if it is an actual, yeah, I guess it's technically, it's probably like a pleather, but it feels like leather. One part around the toe box that I can't really, it's like a synthetic material. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it. I think, like I said, my camera might be pretty good enough now. But you see how it's kind of shining, like where my index finger is at? That little piece to me is pretty dope. One of those small details that kind of breaks up the leather that's on here. It kind of adds a shine there. The actual Asics logo on here has almost like a gelled look to it. It's got a little bit of a raise to it. Around the eye stays, it has that kind of scratchy, like shiny material with the Asics logo there. The laces up here have that oyster gray. Like I said, I'm gonna roll with it that the lighter one is the oyster gray. I'm just gonna assume it. And then up the tongue is also that like oyster gray mesh. So on the bottom, this is what I really want to get into and shout out to Asics in general, because I know they are. Asics is, you know, mainly a running company in terms of shoes, but I love that these companies are getting their shine for their sports, like sports style and sportswear models, which this would fall into for fashion purposes. But you do have what they basically consider, this is what Asics is known for, is their gel technology. And if you look on the heel, it actually has gel spelled out on the back right there. Y'all can see the gel on the back, G-E-L, on the back heel, so it's pretty cool. All this would be the gel technology, like all the midsole here, all this foam material is all gel technology. And then even on the heel down at the bottom, it does say gel, so you guys can see that. And then it does have the Trustic support system. So that's these two, I don't know if you guys know this, but I love that sound. The sound of like a TPU plate or carbon fiber, or just, it just sounds so cool to me. But that would be the Trustic support system. So that's what's gonna add for your extra support. I also noticed, I don't know if this is a part of the support system, but the darker gray, so like the clay gray, it is a little bit more of a firmer, I'm not gonna like super touch it because I did wear these today, but it feels firmer than the softer gray around it. And I don't know if that's also a part of the Trustic system. If you guys are Asics aficionados in the comments, or you're watching this episode, let me know if that's specifically what that is. Honestly, man, like I said, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. I love this shoe. Like, this is, of the four that, like I said, you guys will eventually see them after this video. Like, this is probably, I wasn't expecting to like this one as much as I do. Colorway, the comfort all day, like, you know, I'm with my daughter. If I step out the house on a day off, like, this is gonna be worn very heavily and potentially have other cousins in different colorways in the crib next to it in the closet soon. So yeah, man, but otherwise, a really dope shoe to have if you can snag it. Obviously, the price point is really awesome, and you're gonna get a bang for your buck in terms of comfort and style. So really cool. I'll let you guys see the outfit that I put together with this today. Went for that little, you know, it was a dad shoe, so I hit him with a little bit of the dad vibe, you know what I'm saying? A little Papa Bear type thing. But you guys let me know what you think. Let me know if you would cop this. If you would, what colorways would you go with? I'll try to put a couple of the other colors that they have online. They do have sales too. So yeah, check it out, man. The Asics Gel 1130, y'all did your thing. Otherwise, look out for me in this on Instagram. A lot more. It's gonna be some fits coming out. But y'all know how I always do. Never pressure nobody to follow. I hope you do come to the show, to the channel, to my social network, whatever it might be, and find something that helps you advance your wardrobe, learn something new. You know what I'm saying? Just challenge you. But otherwise, you can follow me on social media, Jamal, Virgo, Child, YouTube, all that blah, blah, blah. And I'll catch you on the next one. Deuce.